It's our great pleasure to welcome Professor Marc Arnaudon. He's going to give us a talk that is timely topic of GSI. His title is Stochastic Euler-Poincaré Reduction. I just want to briefly mention the biography of Marc. Marc is a former student of École Normale Supérieure. He graduated in 1991, and then he got a position in Strasbourg and was a professor of mathematics at Poitiers University. And recently, he joined the Department of Mathematics of University of Bordeaux. So, to summarize my impression of Marc, he's a good expert on differential geometry and martingale, and I'm looking forward to this talk today.
Okay, so I will speak about the stochastic Euler-Poincaré reduction, which is a stochastic modification of Euler-Poincaré reduction. My talk will be based mainly on these two references. Okay. So first, I will investigate the deterministic framework with the Euler-Poincaré equations, then the diffeomorphism group on compact Riemannian manifold. I will explain the volume-preserving diffeomorphism group on its geometry, Lagrangian paths on this set, characterization of the geodesics, then Euler-Poincaré on the equation on the volume-preserving diffeomorphism group. And in the second part, this will be the main contribution for this talk. So it will be the stochastic framework with. There will be a brief introduction on semi-martingales in Lie groups. Then I will explain stochastic Euler-Poincaré reduction on Lie groups. Then this will be applied to a group of volume-preserving diffeomorphism, and then as an application, Navier-Stokes and Kama-Samholm equation. So to begin with, let M be a Riemannian manifold, and on this manifold, consider a Lagrangian, which is some function on the tangent bundle depending on time. For a Q, a path on M which starts at A and ends at B, considers the action functional, which to this Q associates the integral of the Lagrangian along the path. So this is well known that critical points for C satisfy the Euler-Lagrange equation, which is obtained by a very simple integration by part. Okay, and now assume that the configuration space is a Lie group, and L, the Lagrangian, is left invariant. Then one can write for psi an element of the tangent space at origin. L of X, so the Lagrangian takes this form. Lg g psi is equal to L of xi. And the action functional is defined by this simple integral L of xi of t. With xi t, g minus g dot. then in this context, the Euler equation writes this way. So G is a critical point for the function at C, only if it satisfies the Euler-Poincaré equation, which is just a special case of the one I wrote before, where so here add star is the adjoint of the dual action of the usual adjoint action in the Lie algebra. Okay. So if we will specialize in variations psi in the Lie algebra, which solves this equation for some new C1 path in the tangent in the Lie algebra of G, and in fact it is equivalent to the variation of G with the perturbation, with the right perturbation E, and E is the left integral of nu. So this will be our canonical perturbation of path G in the Lie group. So under our main application will be a group of diffeomorphism of n-dimensional compact Riemannian manifold. So for M n-dimensional compact Riemannian manifold, we define the GS, so the bijection of M with inverse also a bijection and belonging to HS of MM. So where HS is the manifold of Sobolev maps of class S larger than 1 plus n over 2. And so the main facts about this manifold is that if S is larger than 1 plus n over 2, then GS is a smooth Hilbert manifold. And so also it's a group under composition between maps, right translation is smooth, but left translation and inversion are only continuous. And GS is also a topological group. Okay, and the tangent path space at eta belonging to bijection of M. So is the U from M to Tm of class HS, such that U of M belongs to T eta of M of M. And from the Riemannian structure on M, one can define a weak L2 structure on the GS just by integrating using the scalar product on M and integrating with respect to the volume measure of M, since M is a compact Riemannian manifold. So UV are in the tangent bundle of GFS. U eta is this is just to have the calculation at the origin, and mu is the Riemannian volume. So from this definition, it is clear that U is a right invariant metric on the group of diffeomorphism. And this metric has a Levi-Civita connection, which is given with this formula. Well, maybe it's not very useful to remember this formula. Just when just has to remark that if x tilde, y tilde are right invariant vector fields, then this part vanishes, and the Levi-Civita connection of this metric is only this one, which consists only in integrating the Levi-Civita connection in the manifold with respect to the measure mu. Okay, so this is the Levi-Civita connection. And now let us consider the submanifold of the diffeomorphism group consisting of volume-preserving diffeomorphism. So I call it JSV. And so this is still a topological group. And the tangent space, which I will call right JSV, it's the vector field such that with a zero divergence. And okay, on this submanifold, for obtaining the L2 metric in this submanifold is obtained is the same as in the group of diffeomorphism, and the Levi-Civita connection associated to this L2 metric is obtained by orthogonal projection, and more precisely, one has a decomposition HS of Tm is JSV plus D of HS plus 1 of M, and this is an orthogonal decomposition. So to obtain the Levi-Civita connection on the submanifold, just project on this part here. Now consider the ordinary differential equation on M. D of dt gt of x equal ut gt of x, and started at x. For ut belonging to the tangent bundle at origin of the group of diffeomorphism. So U, in fact, this is a set of vector fields, HS vector fields on M. So J for every t, Gt is a diffeomorphism of M. So J is a path on the diffeomorphism of M, and if the divergence of U is 0, then J is a path on a volume preserving diffeomorphism. And it is known since Arnold and Ebin-Marsden that a Lagrangian path J satisfying the equation above is a geodesic on the volume preserving diffeomorphism with this metric, which means that covariant derivative of G dot along G dot is 0. That should be equal to 0. So J is a geodesic if and only if U, the velocity field, satisfies the Euler equation for incompressible inviscid fluids. d over dt is equal to minus nabla uu minus gradient of P. P is the pressure, and divergence of U equal to 0 since we are in incompressible diffeomorphism. Okay, so in fact, the definition of P comes from the projection, from the use. In fact, one should write it this way. And so gradient of P corresponds to the use of, here I put the connection in the manifold. So when doing this, I use nabla 0, the Levi-Civita connection on the group of the diffeomorphism, and not on the group of volume-preserving diffeomorphism. But if instead I use this one, then gradient of P disappears. Just that's the projection term, gradient of P. Okay. So this is a description in terms of geodesics. Let us now go back to the action functional I described before. So let us take L defined on the tangent model at origin as a scalar product L of x is x with itself, and define the action functional by integral from 0 to t L. So g dot t, g minus 1, this to be at the origin. So square norm of the square norm of the speed of g. Then a Lagrangian path of g, integral path of u, as described before, is a critical point of C, if and only if u satisfies the Euler equation u. So we have two descriptions of solution to the Euler equation as a geodesic in the group of volume-preserving diffeomorphism, and also as a critical points of this action functional. So the aim of this talk, in fact, no, sorry, there is also another example. If instead of, if for L, we take the H1 metric, so square norm of x plus alpha square square norm of gradient of nabla x, and define the action functional in the same way as before, so integrating L from 0 to t. Then, with the same procedure, a Lagrangian path of an integral path of u is a critical point of C if only if u satisfies the Kama-Sarum equation, which is given here. This is just to give another example to show that if one takes another action functional, then one gets another well-known equation. So the aim of this talk is to establish a stochastic Euler Poincare reduction in a general Lie group, which in fact, compared to what I explained till now, it consists in adding viscosity on equation. So, and we'll apply it to volume-preserving diffeomorphism on a compact symmetric space. And so the stochastic term will correspond to introducing viscosity. So let me recall some facts about semi-martingales in Rn. So semi-martingales has a decomposition, so semi-martingale psi t has a decomposition psi t equal to nt plus at, where nt is the local martingale and at is a process with a finite variation. So if n is a martingale, so the conditional expectation of nt with respect to the information at time s is equal to ns. So the mean variation is constant. And in fact, we will be interested in semi-martingales with a special finite variation part with absolute continued finite variation part. And for these semi-martingales, one can define what I will call the drift term, which is the limit of expectation of psi t plus epsilon minus psi t over epsilon, conditioned by ft. And if we do that, we see that from this property, the term corresponding to the martingale term disappears, and there is only this term left here. And since this term has this form, it is clear that d psi over dt is equal to at. Okay, so we have some kind of operator which to some semi-martingale psi t associates its drift at. So a well-known fact about semi-martingales is Ito formula, or change of variable formula. So if f is a C2 function on Rn, f of psi t is f of psi 0 plus integral from 0 to t df dn plus integral 0 to t df dA. So this is the integral of df d psi. But since we have a martingale term, one has to go to a second derivative of f. So we have plus 1/2. So in Taylor formula, we have to take another term, and 1/2 integral from 0 to t, Hn of f, d psi, d psi. So this is a new term compared to finite variation term. And from this, we see that psi t is a local. Let me mention that in stochastic calculus, it is well known and easy to prove that if one has a martingale or local martingale, n, okay. If one integrate n with respect to some form, here we have df, the integral from 0 to t df dn, this is still a martingale or local martingale. So in fact, from this, we see that psi t is a local martingale if only for all f, some test function on Rn, f of psi t, f of psi t minus f of psi 0 minus integral of the second order term here is a real valued local martingale. So this amounts to saying that this term vanishes. So this is a real valued local martingale for all f if only if a is equal to 0. So why is this property important? This is because this is a property in Rn, but if we consider now manifold valued processes, so in manifold it is easy to construct semi-martingales just by saying that psi is a semi-martingale if only if f of psi is a semi-martingale. But for defining martingales, this will be this property. So psi t is a manifold valued martingale if and only if f of psi t minus f of psi 0 minus 1/2 Hessian of f d psi is a real valued local martingale. So in a manifold, Riemannian manifold, Hessian of f is well defined. Okay, and the next step in manifold is to define the drift of semi-martingale. So this we do this definition here. So consider a semi-martingale psi t on a manifold, Riemannian manifold M, and let AT be a vector, a process which is a vector above psi t. And if for all f in C2 of M, f of psi t minus f of psi 0 minus integral of df a ds minus 1/2 f Hessian of a ds dx is a well-valued martingale, then we can say that the drift of psi is equal to A. So this is completely related to this and with A absolutely continuous. So this is definition. Yeah. So we take for any test function f, we have this property. Then we can see that the drift of psi is equal to A. Okay, so the definition is for the drift of psi here. So let us now consider the special case of Lie groups with a right invariant metric and the right invariant connection. So on G is a Lie algebra. Then consider a countable family of elements of the Lie algebra, and U C1 path with values in the Lie algebra. Then for constructing semi-martingales on the Lie group G, one can solve the Stratonovich equation. dG is equal to sum Hi dwi at gt minus, this is some contraction term related to the fact that we were dealing with the Stratonovich equation. Okay, plus u t dt with the u, the C1 path of G. So with right translation gt here, and G0 is equal to E. So this is a completely standard way of constructing semi-martingales on Lie groups. We have some variation in the Lie algebra, and we multiply in the right. So this can be considered as the martingale part, and this, as we will see, in the drift part. So if we compute Ito formula, in fact, we get with the test function f of g is f of g0 plus some martingale part here, df gs HEDWI, plus integral of df u g ds, which comes from here, plus 1/2, so Ito formula as a second variation term. So this is written here, Hessian of f, HEGS, ds. And from this, so on here, this term has disappeared because of Stratonovich equation. Because of Stratonovich equation here, an Ito equation here, and here we have a martingale. So from this equation, we get the fact that the drift of our process G in the Lie group capital G is U translated with in the right with G. Okay, and just we have a particular case if HE is a orthonormal basis, and if you have this property, nabla HE is equal to 0. If furthermore nabla is a Levi-Civita connection associated to the metric in the group, then and U equal to 0, then GT is Brownian motion in G. Okay, so this is a way of constructing Brownian motion in the Lie group. This is just for illustration. Okay, so now on the space of G-valued semi-martingales, define this action J of Xi equal 1/2 expectation integral from 0 to t of the square norm of the drift of Xi. So we have defined the drift of Xi. So the most natural way of defining some action functional on the semi-martingale is taking the L2 norm of the drift this way. Okay, and so we tried to do as before in the deterministic case. So we consider perturbation of our semi-martingale. So for V, a C1 pass on the Lie algebra, satisfying V0 equal Vt equal to 0, consider the flow generated by so dE over dt equal to V dot E, so right exponential of V, in fact. So this is a path in the Lie group, which is a right exponential of V, started at 0. And so we'll say that the G semi-martingale with value is in the Lie group G is a critical point of the action functional J if for all V C1 belonging to C1 0 to T to the G algebra satisfying the condition endpoint condition, then the derivative of the action with respect to the perturbation V is 0, where here G is a G epsilon V T is a semi-martingale G perturbated with this exponential of V. So this is also a natural way of defining perturbation. And here is the main result. So G is the critical point of the action functional J, which is L2 norm of the drift, if only if the drift U of G, recall U is the drift of the semi-martingale G, satisfies this equation here. With here we find again add star of U, but with U tilde here, minus some additional term k of u. So u tilde is u minus this contraction function term here. Add star is again the adjoint of add. And k is defined with this formula involving covariant derivative. Well, it is still complicated, but we will see that in some particular case, this takes a nice form. So let us remark that in some special case, for instance, so if for all a h e equal to 0, so this this amounts to saying that the martingale part vanishes. So we are in the situation of the first part of the talk. But or if nabla vanishes on the element of G, then the additional term k is equal to 0, and we get standard Euler-Poincaré equation. If so, in fact, it is also a calculation to show that if for all a this contraction term vanishes, which happens in many examples, then the k has this form here. So this is a kind of horizontal Laplacian. Well, depends on. Well, it takes this form here. So this is a second derivative in the direction of HA, and this here we have a curvature term. R is a curvature tensor, and in particular, if HA is a orthogonal basis of the Lie algebra, then K is nothing but the -1/2 horizontal Laplacian of U plus Ricci of U. So we get the odd Laplacian. So now we specialize on a diffeomorphism group. So again, okay, this is the same as before. GSV is a volume preserving diffeomorphism. G is a Lie algebra, and we consider these two scalar product x, y, 0 integral along M on M of x, y dx. This is a volume measure of the manifold. On xy1, integral of xy plus integral of nabla x, nabla y. So again, this recalls what I explained before. Levi-Civita connection is given by this projection. And in fact, one can find HA such that for all A, nabla HA is equal to 0, divergence of HA is equal to 0, and some HA square F is equal to some constant here, which will be called viscosity, Laplacian of F, for F C2 in C2 of M. And for in this special situation, as a corollary of the main result, G is a critical point of so the action functional with respect to the 0 metric, if only if U solves the Navier-Stokes equation, du over dt equals minus nabla UU plus here viscosity, Laplacian of U minus gradient of pressure. Divergence of U is equal to 0. And now, in the special case of the if M is the two-dimensional torus, we can prove that G is a critical point of J with the H1 metric, if and only if U solves Kamasaholm's equation, which is written here. And for the proof of this, use Ito formula and compute in different situations this term adjoint of U and K of U. Okay. Okay, thank you very much.
So thank you, Mark, for the very nice talk. So I think we have plenty of time for questions.
What is perhaps quite curious is that by searching to optimize the principle of less action with stochastic process, you obtain something which is deterministic. Is it?
Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
Can you also obtain non-stochastic process?
This is related to the fact that this is related to the fact that we chose HA with this projection. Yeah, you're right. It is quite quite strange. Yeah. But we always get something. Oh, okay. Maybe I could answer is that there is an expectation in the action functional. So maybe this is also a reason why you get something.
A law of big numbers.
Sorry.
There is a law of big numbers for explaining that.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
Okay, so feel free to ask your questions.
Could you comment the two papers you mentioned at the beginning of your talk?
Comment
the two papers.
Yeah.
At the beginning of your talk.
These two papers.
Yes, but could you have some comments about the first and the second one?
Well, what I explained is the first one. In this talk here is the more or less the content of the first one, and the second one is the extension of on semi-direct products with vector space. I mainly explain the content of the first one.
Thank you for this very beautiful generalization of the Euler-Poincaré equation. I would like to make just a small remark. It is that it is only a special case of the Euler-Poincaré equation, which is here, because if you look at the original paper of Poincaré, the note of 1901, he considers a more general setting. It is not a Lagrangian system with a Lie group as a configuration space. It is a configuration space on which acts a Lie algebra locally transitively. but the Lie algebra generally is of higher dimension than the dimension of the configuration space. Of course, it can be the same only if the configuration space is tangent bound, is trivialized. But for example, for a sphere, for the spherical pendulum, you can write Euler-Poincaré equation with the group SO3. And it leads to a very nice, more general setting, and maybe it could be interesting to look also for the probabilistic aspects of this more general case. Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
We still have time for some further questions.
So Mark, you apply your model for Navier-Stokes equation on what is the advantage to address the Navier-Stokes equation with a stochastic model compared to a deterministic one? Do you think that?
Okay. With a stochastic representation, we can see Navier-Stokes equation as a solution of forward-backward stochastic differential equations, and there are some way to solve them with stochastic methods.
There is another interesting generalizations of Euler-Poincaré equations when the group has a non-vanishing class of symplectic cohomology. There is additional terms. For instance, interesting when you are considering Galileo's group, the symmetry group of the classical mechanics.
Okay, so thank you very much, and let's thank again our speaker. Thank you, Mark.